Today we are going to discuss the first chapter in our biology that is called as life process. What we used to call life processes. Processes. First listen, don't write anything. First you have to listen because biology, there is no difficulty thing. All are completely theory. If you are understanding, if you are remembering the vocabulary, if you are remembering the concept, then you will get full mark in biology. But sentence formation and proper words is most important. That is why you listen first. Later only we'll go for it. So let us comes to the life process. As we know that we are always having two kinds of things in our nature. For example, living things and non-living things. So let us comes to here. Life process is does not related to the non-living things. Only the things which is alive. Understand? So completely it is related to this full life process is related to the things which are alive only. So if it comes to here, what is this life process means? So as we know that, what is the meaning of living organisms? Can anybody say what is the meaning of living things? Living things.
Which have life.
Which have life,
Organisms that perform all metabolic activities.
All the metabolic
Metabolic
activities.
activity.
Yeah. So if it comes to here, just a minute. System is hanging. Okay. So if you'll observe here, so what they said, live living organisms means some something which are alive or which are not dead. We used to call it as living organisms.
Metabolic activity.
Yeah, metabolic activities like breathing, like digesting, like sleeping, like walking, like everything. If you'll observe like these activities means in the sense of we can say that they are the living organisms. So if it comes to here, what is the meaning of living? Means in the sense of something which is living means not dead is said to be alive. We can call them as alive. If they are not dead, they are living means in the sense of we can call them as alive. So in simple terms, we can say alive means which is having life. Is it yes or no? If any kind of thing, if it is having life means in the sense of we can call them as understanding. They are alive. So this is only this alive is only we used to call it as in our languages, local language we used to call it as Jeevit. In Telugu we used to call it as Jeevitam. In Hindi we used to call it as Jinda. In Tamil what we should call? What we should call in Tamil? Tamil what we should call? Huh? Tamil what we should call?
Sir.
Oh, okay, whatever it is. So we used to call it as Jivit. So now if you observe here, we are all people. Me, you, all, everybody. We are all alive and you are also alive. Because why we are alive? How you can say your people are alive and I am also alive? Because I am not dead. Because I am living. I am doing all the activities. So those things which are alive are only called as what we should call Ra. Those who are alive, having life, is only called as living
organisms.
Living things.
What living things. Living things. So those who are alive, is only we used to call
having life.
Living things. Yes. So if you'll observe here in our surroundings, if you'll take all the plants as well as animals, including us. Us means whom we are.
Humans.
Human beings. Human beings. So all are alive, they are all living things. Understand? So now, let us go for this. Now here, one question, or if I'll say, all the plants, animals, including human beings are alive, are living things, then something will be, the question will rise here immediately. What criteria do we use to decide whether something is alive or not? So what kind of basis we are saying that you are alive, I am alive, or else it is dead? it is not a living thing. What criteria we are using? That is the most.
Sir, breathing, moving.
Yes, no, we cannot say that. Just wait. So here, when I categorize that all the plants and animals, including human beings, are alive or living things, then immediately our mind should question at what basis we are deciding whether something is alive or not, or something is called as living thing or not. So that is only the most important criteria, understanding, which we are decide whether the something is alive or not the breathing. What somebody is saying something, what it is not the breathing. Understand, the only one thing, remember all of you, the criteria which we can decide either the object or any kind of thing is a living thing or non-living thing, only based upon first, if you'll see from far each other, you may not see the respiration process, but you can see movement. Have you
Movement
noticed
of
it? Movement, that is the most important criteria. So if it is alive, definitely it is having some movement. Is it yes or no?
yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Maybe yesterday you may observe in our YouTube and news channels and all about one dog. Some video is becoming viral in the news channel. To escape bathing, understanding, to escape bathing, dog act like a dead. Understanding, and owner has created something like over emotional about this dog and all. He cried a lot and he called all the neighbors and all to show his love and affection towards his dog. But the dog is alive, but it is to escape from the bath everyday regular timing the bath, it act like a dead animal. Are you understanding? So why, how he will feel that it is dead? Because he used to call his
No movement.
name, some name, definitely some name it is having. That is some pet name, something. He used to call something maybe continuously. It may not respond. He may touch, then also is not respond. Then means in the sense of what? Immediately we will feel that. We won't check even respiration. Immediately we'll take that. No, there is no movement in the body. We can say that, oh, it is dead. Like that. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is the reason. The most important criteria which will decide whether the something is alive or not is only movement. Remember. So movement is one of the most important signs of sign, not science, sign. S-I-G-N, signs. Understanding? Sign means a symbol. Sign of life
Symbol.
in an organism. In an organism. If you are a living organism, you must have movement. That is the first sign of any kind of living organism. What is that? Movement. So all the living things which are alive move by themselves without any external help. That is also important. All the living things, you can take anything, understand, which are alive. Please kindly unmute those who are creating some sound. Understand, you remember, all the kinds of these living things which are alive, they moved by themselves. That is the most important. They moved by themselves without any external help. Understand? But in some cases, the movements of living things are quite fast, which can be easily observed by us. But in other cases, these movements are very, very slow and observed with the difficulty. We cannot find it by seeing immediate action. We cannot find the movement of that one. Understand? But we people, if we'll focus on long observation, we can observe the change, or else we can observe the movement of that living up. Understand? So I will teach you that also, when we can observe that and when we can see that. For example, let us see. If we'll take few movements, we can observe very fastly. Suppose a person is running. Let me imagine one of the person, Pranav, Arya and Dilip and all are like something like some quarrel is going on in school. You can see that few times used to be people following one by one, like running or something. So you may notice it. Running is a fast movement or a slow movement. Somebody is running. Is a fast movement or slow movement? Fast movement, which we can observe easily. Is it yes or no? Which we can observe easily. Yes. So the movement in most of the animals are fast and it can be observed easily. Understand? Like for example, frog jumping. You people can observe or not? Frog jumping.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
Yes,
can
sir.
easily observe because frog will jump a long distance. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Every time.
Yes,
Next, if bird is flying, we people observe or not?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes. Like our friends, what I said, Pranav and all, if they are running, let's suppose they are the athletes of your school. If they are running, we people can observe the change or not.
yes, sir.
That-
Yes, sir.
So that is what I'm saying. The movement in most of the animals are fast and they can be observed easily. But the movement in plants, have you observed? Animals' movements are very, very fast. So we can observe easily. But if it comes to the plants, because plants are fixed in a particular place. Don't think that movement means always walking, displacing from one place to another place. Understand? So the movements means so many different ways that all we'll discuss. So the movement in plants are usually very, very slow and observed with difficulty. Understand? So what kind of movement, if you'll observe movement in plants, what you people will say? Is it only moving from one place to another place? What you people will say? Movement in plants.
Shake.
Sir, taking food, sir.
When wind
Taking
it will
food.
shake.
Shaking and all you don't say, Alni. Don't think like that. Sir, normal people don't think. Sir, shaking, sir. When wind blows, it will bend and again it will
Sir,
come.
growing it will come and
Uh,
go.
blowing and all is not.
Sir,
Even dead plant also, if it is
taking one food, sir.
taking
Growth, sir, growth.
we are not observing that how it is taking food and all. Only we can observe that growth. Have you observed? That
Yes,
is
sir,
called
growth.
movement.
Yes, sir,
That
growth.
is called as movement. But by seeing 1 minute, you cannot observe the growth. Is it yes or no? Sir, I'm seeing the
Yes,
plant,
sir.
there is no growth, sir. We
Yes,
cannot
sir.
say. Understanding. That is, you remember. So, the movement in plants are usually slow and even observed with difficulty, but animals and plants move in different ways. Different ways. So, that movement in the sense of don't think that in physics, movement means what? Always moving from one place to another place. With respect to motion, it is motion and rest. The body which is in
Motion.
movement, we used to call it as in motion, which is not changing its position. No movement, it is in rest, we can call. So, for example, let us see what I'm saying. This movement is different in animals as well as this movement is different in plants. For example, let us comes to here. Animals can move from one place to another, or they can move their body parts easily. Suppose now I can shake my head, I can lift my hands, I can walk. Understand? Or else, for example, you will take frog. Frog moves when it jumps into a pond. Is it yes or no? Or else when it jumps into pond to the body, it can. A bird moves when it flies in the sky. An athlete moves when he runs, like that. As well as if you take a fish, when the fish will move, when we can say fish will move, when we can say fish will move, when we can say fish moves. Option is you, if your friends are there, you just call them. Yeah, I think Dina is there, Pranav is there. Yeah, please call them. Jesse is there, Pranita is there, Jesse is not there. I think make a call to absentees, everybody. Do it. That is. So if you'll observe, when we can say frog is having movement, kindly you can speak. When we can say frog is fish, sorry,
And it is jump.
fish.
Jumping,
Fish.
sir.
Frog is
Fish,
over. Frog is
swimming.
over. Fish when we can say.
Swimming.
When it swims in water. Is it yes or no? Fish moves when it
Yes,
swims
sir.
in water. As well as
Swims in water.
we move our hands when we clap. Suppose I'm clapping. Is it if suppose if a dead animal, is it possible to hit their hands? Is it possible to clap their
No,
hands?
sir.
No.
No,
So
sir.
we move our hands when we clap, and also our chest moves up and down when we breathe. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you are breathing, then our chest moves up and down. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. As well as you see, if dog is alive or not, even though if it is sleeping also we can see, always it tail. Understanding? A dog can wag its tail. Understanding? Have you noticed it? Wag. What is the meaning of wag?
Yes, sir.
Wag means a slow movement of
Shaking.
shaking. Yes, shaking its movement. Understand? Shaking its tail always. If you'll see that any kind of these dogs, always they will shake their tails. That is only called as wag. So this is the word which we are learning now. So many of you don't know what is the meaning of wag. And even so many don't know the word also. That is wag. Wag means what, Ra? Shaking, like small vibration. They will vibrate like this. Is it yes or no? Like this, they will shake always. That is only called as
Yes,
wag.
sir.
Understand? That you should remember. Should not write like dog is shaking his tail. Say dog is shaking its tail and all. Understand? That is what the difference. The difference should make. So what we can write here? A dog can wag its tail. A dog can
Wag.
wag. Understand? Wag its tail. That is what you should remember. So all this movement shows that if you'll take a frog, if you'll take a bird, if you'll take a fish, if you'll take a dog, if you'll take a human beings, they all are alive or not? They all are living things or not? They all are alive.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
why
sir.
I'm saying they all are living things? Why? Because they have movement.
By
Yes, sir?
movement.
Yeah, they have a movement. So that is why
Yes, sir.
we people we can say they are alive. Yes or no? Or they are living things.
Yes,
Correct
sir.
or not? So now,
Yes, sir.
same way if it comes to here, suppose now plants. So plants, they cannot do this kind of movements. Plants cannot jump. Like some animation movie, plants will move. That is not the truth. Understanding? So the plants are fixed in the soil at a place. So they cannot move like animals from one place to another place. Like us, they cannot do any activity like walking, jumping, running, swimming. Understanding? Wag. Understanding? Like that, they won't do anything. Like dog. So the plants can only move parts of their body,
Growth.
particularly leaves, flowers, shoot, and roots. So this is the parts only which will change the directions. That's all. So the parts, only parts of the body, plant bodies will move. First one is what? Leaves. What is that? Leaves.
Leaves.
Understanding. Next one, flowers. I will teach you the examples of this. Flowers. Next one, shoots. And the next one, roots. So now, how, sir? How we can observe this movement? Let us start with the first one. So if we take the plants, understanding. So the plants, always you observe, parts move towards a, understanding, stimulus activity. Stimulus means which is not in our control. You may notice it. Sunlight. Have you noticed it? Sunlight.
Yes,
Yeah, always you may observe, even though if you plant the plant, if you planted the plant in under some shadow, then automatically its direction will be changes towards the sunlight. Have you noticed it? Yes or no? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it will bend and it will
Yes,
grow. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is. So means in the sense of what? All the leaves are turning towards the sunlight because photosynthesis reaction should take place. Means in the sense of all the leaves will turn towards to the sunlight. Is it yes or no? They will bend and they will start growing.
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed it or not? Lower classes itself, you have to
Yes,
do that
sir.
activity. Class 8 itself, you have to learn. Understand? That is like that. So that activities is called as the parts that like a stimulus such as sunlight. You may see that gravity. Roots always will grow towards to the gravity, or we can call it as water. Understand or not? So suppose in our soil there is no water is present in particular place. The roots will always grow towards to the source of water. Is it yes or no? Have you noticed it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So means in the sense of what? Is it movement or not? Is it called as a movement?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So like as well as if we take shoot, the leaves and flowers of sunflower. Sunflower, how many of you know? When the sun is in up,
Yes, sir.
exactly at the mid, you can see afternoon, then the sunflower will be towards to upwards. When the morning towards the east, when the evening it towards the west. Have you observed? Right side, left side, straight, it will bend always. Yes or no? Depend upon the direction of sun. The sunflower plant moves by bending towards to the always towards the sun, and also it is face towards to the sunlight. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, like that. How many of you know that touching plant? If you touch the plant, automatically it will close the leaves. Have you noticed it? If you touch the plant like that, all the leaves will touch. Our university
Yes, sir.
also having that
Yes, sir.
plants. So what is that plant name? If you have studied, your teacher has taught, you may know that.
Totas.
Sir, the touch not
I know in
something.
Tamil, sir.
Touch not,
Tamil only,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Tamil I know, sir.
So that plant
Touch me
is
not.
called as, understand?
Touch
That
me
plant,
not, sir.
I don't see in exam you should not write I know only Tamil names are and I know only Telugu names are. I know Malayalam names are. That is all sollu venda. So that plant, touch plant and all went. That plant name is called as sensitive plant. What we should call? Sensitive plant.
Sensitive plant.
Its scientific name, understand, is called as Mimosa pudica. What we should call? Mimosa pudica.
Mimosa plant.
Mimosa
Mimosa
pudica.
pudica.
Called as
Mimosa pudica.
sensitive plant. What we should call? Sensitive plant.
Sensitive plant.
So you tell me. So what will happen? This the leaves of this Mimosa pudica, if we'll touch, understanding, move by folding up when we touch it with a finger. When we touch it with a finger, is it yes or no? So and also you can see plants also show movement by growing their roots and shoots bigger and bigger. Is it yes or no? Slowly you can observe the
Yes, sir.
movement by growing their roots and shoots more and more every day. If you'll observe, bigger and bigger they will grow and branches will increase. Number of flowers producing, or else fruits are turning into fruits, ripening. That is all indicating what? It is alive. Is it yes or no? First, if it is a dead plant, what will happen, Ra? All the leaves will fall down. Is it yes or no? Slowly leaves
Will
will fall
get
down.
dried.
It will turn
Fall
into
down.
dried.
Yes, sir.
That is the changes. Understand? What? Till now you people don't know this? Mimosa pudica. Class 8 itself it will come. Then what you people are studying? That is why biology we are unable to score well. You be very sincere in this. Understand, Ra? Mimosa pudica, called as a sensitive plant, which will holds up, folding up when touched with a finger. That is what you should remember. So, all this is all about what? Plants movement, the movements in plants. So that is why we can say plants also what? They are the living things. They are the alive or not? Is there alive or not?
Alive.
Alive, sir. Alive,
So
sir.
Alive.
these are the things.
Alive, sir.
These all the movements are done by themselves or somebody is doing. Nobody is doing. Correct?
Themselves.
So
Nobody is doing,
themselves
sir.
they are
They're
doing.
doing.
Themselves they are doing. That is why these all are called as the movements done by themselves are called as alive or living things. That's so. Now let us go to the non-living things. What is the meaning of non-living things now? Till now we have discussed about the living things.
Sir,
What about the
the
non-living?
things which are dead
Yeah,
and
which are
cannot
dead,
move.
which are not alive, which cannot
Not
move by
alive.
themselves.
Which does
That
not
is
have life.
yeah, a non-living things which are not alive or which cannot move by themselves, which cannot move by themselves.
Yes,
It's
sir.
called as non-living things. For example, if we'll take a stone. Stone is a basic thing which we will observe everywhere. If we'll take a stone, is it a stone is having a life or not?
No.
No, because a stone is a non-living thing which cannot move by itself from one place to another or show any other type of movement. So that we can say, understanding, we'll have to move it by applying force from outside. If you want to move the stone, either you need to take it with your force and you have to change the position. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
How many of you understanding? Arvind, understanding Arvind? No
Yes, sir.
response. That is. So whenever you observe that this stone, if a stone wants to displace from one place to another place, not only the movement, any kind of other type of movement also is not done by, not shown by the stone. So if it wants to move, then what we should do? We have to take with our hand and we have to apply the external force from outside and we have to change the movement. So like this, all these living things are, understanding, all these non-living things are the same thing which they cannot do any kind of move by themselves. Understand, Ra? So if you want to observe the movement in them, then what we should do? We have to applying the force from outside. Applying the force from outside means externally. Externally we should apply.
External forces are needed to move them.
Yeah, we have to. That is. So that is all about the non-living things. So if we'll take non-living things, this is what happening. Understand? That is why we should call them as non-living things, which does not move. with themselves, or by themselves they cannot move. That is the thing. So for example, let us go. This is all about non-living things. This is not our chapter, because our chapter is what? Life process, only related to what? Only related to what?
Living things. Living.
Living things.
So let us come to here. Whenever I will say the living things, first we'll remember two things. What is that? Whenever I will say living things, we'll remember immediately
Movement by themselves and having life.
plants and as well as animals are called as
Oh,
Animal.
things. So whenever we'll discuss about the living things means in the sense of, that is what? One is plants and second one is animals.
animals.
So if you'll observe, all these living things, including plants and animals, they are made up of a tiny living units, called as what? Living units is called as what? Don't know. Say the
Cells.
truth.
Add
A
molecules.
living units
Cells.
called as what we should call? Cells.
Cells.
Very good. So
Cells.
living
Sir.
units, which we used to call as cells. And if you'll observe, these cells themselves are made up of still even a small particles we used to call as what we should call. These cells are made up of again a small particles called as
Molecules.
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 Understanding? Chemistry, molecules, all same thing. Understanding? Molecules. So the movement over very, very small scale, understanding, very small scale, are invisible to the naked eye. The movement of this kind of thing, those in the molecule of living things are very invisible to the naked eye, because they're very, very small. Their movement we cannot observe with our naked eye, because their size is very, 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 very small.
Small.
Understand?
Small.
The movement over a very small scale are invisible to the naked eye, because these molecules are in what? They are in very, very small in size. The
Small.
molecules of living things are,
Microscope only.
yeah, very, very small. So we cannot observe the movement with our naked eye. Naked eye means what? With a normal eye. So that is why the invisible molecular movement is, however, necessary for the existence of life. If these molecules are not moving, is it possible to alive by us? Suppose in my body, if these molecules are not moving, these are very slow movements which we cannot observe with our naked eye. If there is no movement of these molecules, is it possible to alive me or you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Nobody. Nobody, it is not possible to alive if there is no movement of these molecules. So that is a thing you should remember. If you want to alive, if you want to exist of life, then what should happen? This invisible molecular movement is must be takes place, necessary for the existence of life. Remember, this invisible movement is not seen by the naked eye, but you people remember, if you want to exist, the necessary for the existence of life. What is necessary for the existence of life? The invisible. What is that? Invisible.
Atoms.
Invisible
Atoms.
molecular movement.
Molecules.
Okay. Invisible molecular movement is necessary for what? Is necessary for
Living.
the
Alive.
existence of life.
Alive. sir.
For the existence of life, the movement, this movement done by the molecules is most important. So if we'll take, for example, virus. Now presently also we have one virus. What is that virus?
Corona.
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 Yes, the
COVID-19.
same way. Yeah, this COVID virus. We are very familiar with that, and it is our best friend also. So, in fact, if you take, the viruses do not show any molecular movement in them. Why? Why?
What, sir?
Viruses,
What,
they
sir?
don't show any kind of this molecular movement.
They are not alive, sir.
They are not alive. Then how the corona is coming? If it is not alive, why it is coming? Can you able to say
Say they don't have molecular movement.
why it is?
But they don't show the molecular movement, sir.
Why,
That's why we
Kavita?
can't
That
find
is
whether
what
they
I
are
am
living or
Sir,
not.
That
they
is
will
what I
feed
was.
upon the hosts.
So if you'll observe, why it is means, I will say, listen, that is what questioning is most important. Sir is saying viruses, they do not show any molecular movement. Then, okay, sir, leave it. Why, sir? You know, you people won't ask. Why means, Remember, if we take the viruses, they don't show any kind of molecular movement in them until they infect some cell. Remember, until they infect some cell means they will enter into some body host, understanding, and then only they will start showing the
And get energy from them.
yes, that is what. Until they infect some cell, infect some cell, then only, that is what you should remember, most important, understanding, until it is entering into the host. Okay, and this has created a controversy about whether they are truly alive or not. Now what somebody said, understanding, so somebody said that virus is Anusri, I think Anusri only said, so virus is dead. It's not. We don't have a correct idea it is dead or alive. It's a controversy. When it is alone, it's not showing any movement. There is no molecular movement, understanding. But unless until if it is
So, but when it goes to the cells,
when if it is
it becomes
affected,
alive,
if it
sir.
is infect the cell, immediately it is showing the movement. Understand? That is why we have a controversy always about this virus, corona, or any kind of etc. etc. Either they are, whether they are truly alive or not.
Alive.
That is. So this is all about this movement of.
Sir, when it is not, when it does not infect anyone, it has movement only through air, sir.
It's no movement. There is no molecular movement in body because it is a unicellular
Then
organism.
how
No,
sir?
sir, no, I am not asking molecular movement, sir. You said when it is living, it moves by themselves, no, sir.
Yes.
Then how it moves, sir?
How it
Corona.
lives.
Outside.
That is what
How
I'm
it
saying.
moves, sir?
Outside in the sense of how much time it will take. Have you noticed this? For example, corona you take. It is in air. Everywhere it can sustain. But how much time? Very, very less time. Is it yes or no? That is.
Yes, sir.
If it is outside without infecting cell, it cannot sustain much time. It will die immediately. You understand? Within the fraction of
If
second.
it moves only through air, no, sir.
Air. Moves through air, moves through blood, moves through saliva, moves through this what mucus. Like this, only it will move. You understand? That is what they are saying. Social distance. Why the social distance is causing to reduce the corona cases? Because virus cannot spread when you are maintaining the social distance. When you are in contact, only it will exchange. You understanding? Spreading fast is when it is contact. You understanding? That is what is a controversy for us. Virus is not showing any kind of movement because it is already a single cell of organism, unicellular organism. Understanding? So that is the reason why we have always controversy, either it is truly alive or not. So if you'll observe, in addition to this movement, molecular movement, all the living things also show some other characteristics also. If we'll observe any one of these, then also we can say that these are alive things. So what is that? Let us see. What is the characteristics of living things? How we can say all the living things which are alive have some common characteristics. If they are plants or if they are animals, doesn't matter. They are having some features which make them different from non-living things. So what they are, let us see. This everything we know that. We have totally 7 characteristics. So let us see now. Can anybody say what is that? At least anybody? What is this features which we are making different from, which is making a unique features which will make them different from the non-living things? Anybody?
Sir, that respiration.
Yeah. Don't go for respiration always first. First one, what I said, what is the basic criteria?
Movement.
What is movement? For a very
Movement.
So living things can move by themselves. Living things can move by themselves. That is the first thing. Next, living things need sapada. Yes or no?
It's a digesting.
Living things need sapada, food, air, and water. Is it yes or no? Living thing, every living thing will take food, water, and air. Is it yes, sir? Anybody is there? Pranav, are you taking only food?
Yes.
There is no air. Is there anybody who is not taking air and water? It's nobody. Yes. Everybody need food, air, and water. Next one. Living things can grow. Is it true or not? You people, when you born, when you are this much,
Yes, sir.
now you are in 9th, 10th class. You are
Yes, sir.
after inter, you may become like this. Now Pranav is keeping somebody's as a status, like a profile pic. That fellow is see around having beard, everything, and 6 feet tall. So like that, everything will observe the growth. So a living things can grow. That is the thing. Next one. Living things can respond to changes around them because they are sensitive.
Stimuli.
For example, yeah, stimulus activity. Suppose I will cut with a knife here. You people will respond or you people will hold. Suppose I will keep fire to your finger. You people will respond or not. If you touch the heart, you people will remove it or not. Somebody will poke you.
Yes, sir.
You people will respond or not. That is what I am saying. Understand? So that is you should remember. So that is what we should call. Living things can respond to changes around them. Means in the sense of they are sensitive. What we should call? They are
Sensitive.
sensitive. This all you should
Sensitive.
note it down. Because biology, I cannot give notes. Only I will give the final notes. That's all. They are sensitive. Full stop. Next, living things can respire. Respire means in the sense of what? They will release energy from food. They will release energy from food. By the process of water. By the process of what? Release energy from food. By which process? By digestion. Is it yes or no? Yeah, respiration.
Digestion, sir.
Digestion and respiration. That process is called as living things are respire. RESPIRE. Living things are respire. Understand? Next one. Living things can excrete. What is the meaning of this excrete? Means in the sense of an unnecessary material will come out from our body.
Sir, remove waste.
Yeah. Remove, excrete. Excrete. What is the meaning of excrete?
Unwanted waste.
Unwanted.
Removing waste
Unwanted
things.
Yeah.
waste.
Waste.
Excrete.
Which are
Excrete.
removed
After
from-
digestion, after releasing energy, some understanding waste materials from their bodies will be get rid. That is what? Removing removing unwanted material venda. Get rid of. Get rid. What is the meaning of get rid? Get rid of throughout. Understanding? Get rid of waste materials from their body. So means in the sense of understanding, sending outside from their body unwanted wastage. Understanding that is
Okay.
like next one. Living things, main thing, living things can reproduce. This is the basic thing. Means in the sense of what? They can produce their youngsters. Is it
Young
correct or not?
ones.
That is. So these
Yes,
are the
sir.
common
Offspring.
characteristics, common features. They can have young ones. Understand? Living things can